So guys, now let's move on to creating a basic application architecture. So I have created this boilerplate using create react app, and this is the main component that has been loaded. So first of all, let me delete the details of this and also remove the logo from this application. Also, I'm going to use Bootstrap in this application. So let me include a URL for the same. I have added a CDN for including my Bootstrap. Alright guys, so as I mentioned that folder, the main application architecture plays a very important role. So we are going to create a folder called components folder. All my application components are going to be in this components folder. Similarly, I will create another folder called UI folder. In the UI folder, I will be adding all the components which are related to building the UI, like buttons, inputs, text area, table head, table body. All right. So inside this component folder, I will create another folder called users folder. Guys, as I have already mentioned that this whole application is going to be wrapped in app component, and inside this app component, we are going to create user component, right? So that is why we have created such kind of hierarchy in our application. So now let's start with this. As I have mentioned that I will be using Bootstrap. So let me change the class name to container. I will not be focusing much on the UI for this application, and I am assuming that you can get a better idea about Bootstrap from its documentation itself because it is not that complex. Alright, so I have created a column, and inside that column I am just creating a title like CRUD app in React. Alright, and inside this app component I have to include the users component. Alright, now it is giving the error because it is saying that users component is not available. They are right, it is not available. So now let's create a users component. So let me create another file called users.js, and here let's create a function users. Alright, and let me export default users, and here it will be returning managing users module. Alright guys, so I have created a basic users component. For now it is not returning anything, and now let's import this component in our application. So import users from components, and then users, and then users. Alright guys, now let me reload this application. So you can see that it has loaded this UI. Let's now also add a background color for this application. So for that, what we can do is we can include, so let me also remove this default CSS. So now what we can do is we can include our CSS in app.css. Oops. Uh, so instead of app.css, let's do it in index.css because we know that it is going to be in the whole app. So I have added a background color. I have used linear gradient. You can check out the documentation uh, from MDN docs that how to create this linear gradient. As you can see that this VS Code is very handy. You can change the color pattern from this. It's from here itself. Okay. So now let's create some components for our users component. Right now you can see that it is only managing users module. So now let's extend its functionality, and let me remove this text, and let's create class name as row and justify content center so that all the content is at the center, and pt5 is for padding top that I'm providing. All right guys, so this is the single row that I have created. Here I will be including my manage user component. So for now let's do it this way, so you can see that it is now in the center, right? Similarly, let's create another row for my listing. Okay guys, here I am saying that it is for listing component. All right, so now let's create our manage user component. So instead of creating this, let me create manage user component. Alright, now it will throw the error because this component is not available. So I will be creating this component. Okay, and here function manage user and export default manage user, right? And return div, this is manage user component. All right, and now let's import this component. Import manage user from manage user. All right guys, so you can see that I have created a manage user component and I have imported here, declared it over there. And let me also remove this manage user component text from here now. All right, so similarly now we can create our listing component. So instead of this, let's create a listing component. All right, now it will throw error, and here we are going to create user list.js and function function user list, and let's export user list and return user list component. All right, and we are going to import user list from user list. All right, and instead of listing, let's rename it to user list component. And let me, all right, I have missed the default here, and let me reload the application. Okay guys, so I hope that you can see that we have started dividing our application into multiple components. So this is the app component. In the app component we have users component. Users component is going to have my manage user component and user list component. We are following the same strategy that we have planned, right? So in user list component, so let's use bootstrap table for the same, for building the listing. So guys, let me see. Okay, let's import a table here. Okay, let me copy it out. Just for the time being, I'm creating a table here with the default values, and now we can close this. Now we can also create a manage user component. In manage user component we are going to create a form for adding the data, and similarly for UI component, as I am saying that we need to create different component for this table also. So let's create a table component now. So new file table.js, and in table.js I can create function table is equal to props. All right, and return table tag with class name as table. I want to give shadow also, and then table hover. So hovering on the table should show the selection for that particular row. And here I will write props.children. All right. Uh, so this table is ready, and now let me export default table. You can see that. All right, I have made a mistake here. I have tried to mix the different syntaxes of table. Now I have created this table component. Now similarly, let's also create a table body component. So guys, you can see that I have used props and I have used props.children. So what I'm going to do is, my idea is that it should be like table component, and inside the table component I am going to create, let's say, table head, and then uh, table head, and then table body. So I am planning to do something like this. So that is why we are using props.children. So whatever we want to wrap inside this component, we have to use the convention called props.children. So now let's create a header component. Let me create a new file, tablehead.js, and let me copy this code and then paste it over here and rename it to table head. All right, and instead of table I am going to return table head. It is a normal HTML tag, and here in table row there is going to be, oops, sorry, not table data. In table row there is going to be table head 1, or let's say hash. And now let me copy it. Also, let's add the scope is equal to col. You will get to know that what is the benefit of these things. 3 and 4. Okay, so this is hash, and then email as per our example, and then name, and then bio. All right, so we have created a table head component now. Okay guys, and now let's create table body component. New file, table body.js, and inside table body.js let's copy paste this code, and let me rename this to table body and paste the data like this. And here also my strategy is that I am going to use tbody, and inside the tbody I'm going to pass my data via a prop, and I am assuming that it is going to be my children, and its content will be prepared outside this component. So I will directly be using children. So for now, just assume that this is how we are going to work, and I will be sharing more details with you once we get some data, or once we get create the business logic for this application. So guys, I have just created a table component. It is not mandatory to divide your table into such components, but yeah, usually it is a right practice to follow such things. So now what we can do is we can open our user list component, and here I can import everything, like import table from, I have to go back and then to UI component and then table, right? Similarly, I have to import table body and then table body, and let's also import table head and then paste it over there. All right guys, so now let's replace our table component with the actual this table component that we have created, and let's remove this class from here, and let's use this table close tag. All right, and similarly for table head, let me use this table head component and then table head component. Let me refresh the file. Okay guys, and for table body, this is going to be my table body and this is going to be my table body. So for now I haven't created separate folder for each row. What I am planning to do is I'm going to create this row via a mapper, and it will be building all my UI. So you can see that in the UI I have created a table. Hovering over the table is showing me the selection for that particular row. All right. Similarly, if we look at the manage user, I have still not created any form for that because it is going to take more time. But I think for the architecture purpose or folder structure based, for folder structure purpose, I think I have created a basic application architecture the way we have decided in the UI or in our planning phase. Okay guys, so now let's move to the next step. So in the next video we are going to work on add or manage user functionality. So let's get started for add new user. Thank you guys.